Tag Show.
With Jenna and Blue. Damn. Now, here's your host, Jenna and Blue Magic.
What's going on? It's the Mixed Tag Show with
Jenna and Blue.
There you go.
What's up, man?
What's up?
What are you reaching over there for?
Minding my business.
Okay, so how are you?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing well. In a couple of days, you know what's happening, right?
The World Cup is happening. My team won yesterday.
What are you doing?
What? I forgot to put them on.
You planned this out?
Yeah.
So this is how you're going to, the whole show with AJ's gloves on?
Yeah.
Anyway, that wasn't referring to the World Cup, which I see you have your jersey over there.
Yes, Brazil won yesterday.
Okay.
And we advanced to the round of 16. We'll be playing Mexico.
Shout out to my Colombian homies. I'm rooting with them since I don't really have a team to root for, you know.
That's fine. Brazil's going to win.
Are they?
Yes. I feel it. This is our year. We got cheated last time.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, but that wasn't referring to the World Cup. I was referring Monday.
It's the Monday before 4th of July.
Nope.
It's the Monday before my vacation.
Nope.
It is, though.
You know what? I'm tired of you people. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of my other friends trying to play me. No. Monday, July 2nd.
It's your birthday.
Is my birthday. It's the greatest day ever. Okay? What are you getting me?
I can't touch nothing. There you go.
This is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem with the gloves.
I like the gloves.
Okay, well, yes. What are you getting me?
Matt, isn't these gloves cool?
Yeah.
Thank you, WWE Shop, for the gloves and
yes,
jersey.
you are wearing WWE Shop gear. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing the AJ baseball jersey and the batting gloves.
Isn't that you were wearing that when you hit me in the eye with a baseball?
Why are you bringing up old stuff? That was a mistake. I apologize a million times already.
All right, you know. I'm just saying, because it hurts when you get hit with a ball. Anyway.
You survived, didn't you?
I did. Anyway, so, yeah, shout out to the WWE
Shop.
Shop.
I take this off.
You can't do anything, right? Shout out to the WWE Shop. Yeah, we have 100 our campaign to 100 subscribers on YouTube, right?
Yep,
So
we're trying to get there. Trying to get this custom URL.
Domain. So we don't have to constantly keep putting these random letters and numbers, links, or what have you.
UCF
162 _ 78
question marks and
exactly. So
all
it's
these other characters.
Exactly. So please, if you're watching and listening to the show and you prefer to watch us, click that subscribe button and help your crew out. Help the team out.
Team. You, us. Team.
Good job, buddy. All right, so we're updating the good, lovely people that listen and watch us. The
draft.
Yes.
It's time to get into the draft.
Yes. Okay, so who's your team?
My team is the Blue Magic Club. Yeah.
Okay. And my team is?
Queen's Court.
Yes. Thank you. So, again, every week we explain we have a fantasy draft going on.
Yep.
If you're a new listener or watcher, we have this going on till SummerSlam. We break it down into seasons, 2 seasons, right? The first season will be over after SummerSlam, right?
SummerSlam is the last one.
Yes. After that, we'll open it up to our listeners and viewers.
Yep.
And you guys can participate because after the season is over, whoever has the most points obviously wins, and they'll win a prize from us. So definitely keep it locked. Stay tuned because we're definitely going to be opening it up to you guys. And I'm done. I don't want to be a part of it anymore.
I had an idea, and I forgot to tell you last week.
What's the idea?
You want me to tell you in front of everybody now since I forgot last week? Because you said wait till we get off air to tell you, and I kind of forgot.
I didn't tell you to wait.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't tell you to wait to tell me off air. You just said, I'll tell you off air.
Which one do you prefer?
Is it for the people to hear?
It's an idea.
Do the people want to know?
If you like it or not.
All right, tell me. I'm all game.
I suggest,
since we're not doing structured stuff, let's just do it whatever.
That's not that. This is structured. This is all you. Wait till I quarterback.
Let me tell you something. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess when you quarterback.
So?
I think so.
All right.
Dealing with you is a mess.
You think so?
Go ahead.
All right. There's reasoning behind my madness.
Let's get to it. We have a show.
Anyway, I thought it would be kind of cool if we, even though we're not participating directly,
okay,
if we selected our team, kind of like you pick 3 people so they could do their own drafts, and I pick 3 people to do their own drafts, and then they kind of go head to head in terms of points a bit.
I don't want to be a part of it.
No, but you're not. It's not you drafting like WWE star. You're drafting listeners.
I understand, and this clearly that's each of our teams. I don't want to be a part of it. I'm tired. I don't want to do it. Okay.
I thought it would be fun.
No, leave me. I'm a GM. That's it.
I tried, guys. Kind of like how Raw and SmackDown is.
Oy vey.
No, I'm already SmackDown. You're already Raw. It only makes sense.
I'm neutral.
Oh, that would have been dope if like you pick Raw. Since it's Raw, everybody on your team got to pick Raw people. Everybody on my team got to pick SmackDown.
We can talk about it because you clearly won't let it go.
Yes.
All right, this week
I'm gonna win for us, guys.
This week the Queen's Court had a total of 102 points. Yeah. Okay. And Blue Magic Club had a total of 111 points. So in total, the Queen's Court has 1,779 points, and Blue Magic Club has 2,479 points.
Yeah.
Kind of seems like a slow week for our superstars.
Yeah,
a lot of people didn't show up, I guess, because they were doing promo, what have you. But
it happens.
It happens, right? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
That's the beauty of fantasy draft. You don't know what happens.
Speaking of which, I just realized Sami Zayn is injured, and we don't know when he's gonna be back.
No, we don't.
So that means I get to drop him and pick another superstar.
Do you know who you want to pick up?
Yeah.
Who do you want to pick up?
Yes.
Daniel Bryan?
DB.
Yeah.
That's a good pick? What do you think? What do you mean, That's your guy.
It is, but as we continue with our program, you'll see why it's a bad idea.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with DB just because I don't think there's any other guys out there for me to pick, right?
I would have went with Rusev Day. That's me personally.
Well, he's not going to beat AJ.
No, he's not going to beat AJ.
So why would? So you essentially want me to suffer even more?
Oh, no.
Like
I said, I would have picked Rusev even though I know he's going to lose, but he's going to have a nice build to it.
That's true. But we'll discuss it later. We'll bring it back why you think I should have went with Rusev. Anyway, but going back to the WWE shop, this week's Thursday sale is the same as yesterday's sale. Shirts are as low as $10.
$10, $10.
$10. You can buy me
that.
something. You can buy me something for $10.
I can get you your birthday gift for $10. Great, that's a good idea. What you said for?
You know what I want? Well, it's a non-WWE shop item, so we won't talk about that.
I saw it. Somebody's gonna get it. Somebody's gonna get it for you regardless. So I'm not gonna get it.
Shout out to whoever gets it for me. I definitely.
I'm pretty sure one of your friends already ordered it for you, so I'm just gonna.
So anyway, yeah, tees are as low as $10. That doesn't mean all shirts are $10, but
just some
of them. And it is throwback tees, right? Since it's Thursday.
Yep.
So what's today's shirt?
It's gonna be Dolph Ziggler to celebrate his 6th win with "It's Not Showing It Off" throwback T-shirt.
Yes, it's not showing off, and they're basically celebrating his 6th reign as IC champion.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what I just thought about though?
What?
He's been the champion or the IC champion for a total of 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
And The Miz, how long he's been champion for?
I want to say 8.
Something like that. 8. 7 or 8. I think it's 8. It's definitely 8. Who do you think had a better reign as champion? Like, who's made it more prominent?
The Miz.
The Miz. You say that so confidently.
The Miz. Like, Dolph Ziggler's run with the IC title was not great. It was okay. It wasn't great. Now, Miz, he put it on the map. Like, he put it back up there.
But, and I am not disagreeing. The Miz, I'm always I'm always rooting for The Miz. I want him to be the WWE champion, or at least back in that picture. But when you actually think about it, though, Dolph had his moments. There was a time where, Dolph was super popular.
It was.
And I feel like the WWE just never was behind it. They were like, okay, you know how sometimes it is. Some people have their.
He was injury prone at the time.
Yeah, not all the time though. You know what I mean? But besides that, it was just like this whole thing. We're gonna push you, but not push you. But they felt like I feel like they obviously thought he was a reliable choice to be the champion. They wouldn't have given it to him a million times. Hence, and also now, right? He's the champion. So
I don't know why he got it again, but that's.
I don't either. But again, it goes back to what like you keep saying, and a lot of people are saying that they're doing the whole Diesel and. Shawn Michaels thing. Shawn Michaels was the IC champion way back then.
Yeah.
Right? So, and Diesel was the muscle, the enforcer. So, what are you thinking about?
What if they put McIntyre versus Brock?
You think he's ready for that?
That's what I'm like,
I mean, he could, but he would obviously have to be like a face, right?
No.
A heel versus a heel?
Yo, Brock is not always a heel. He's like, he just shows up and do whatever. People still cheer for him. He doesn't win against.
Of course, he just shows up and
like he went against Braun. He went against Samoa Joe. Like Samoa Joe was a heel. You know what I'm saying? Like Brock doesn't have a label. He's just Brock.
Okay, but Drew is not just Drew. I feel like he's
a heel. Yes, just like Samoa Joe was a heel. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so to put
Drew
him
can play a face though.
Not the way they're doing it right now.
Okay. Well, either way, he's not geared up to face Brock at SummerSlam, so.
No, not SummerSlam.
Because July is next week. So,
right,
and then you have August, so that ain't happening. But, yeah, again, that's the sale for the WWE shop. Please help your peoples out.
Help us out.
Our link will be posted in our description box on YouTube, and on Mondays and Wednesdays, it'll also be provided in our bios.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm. In our Instagram, Twitter,
yes,
at The Mixed Tag Show, or you can follow us at our own personal ones at
Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEEN,
at Blue Magic Grind, spelled how it sounds.
Help us not be so corny. you know they say when you make it, you get haters, right? So anyway, you gonna start the show?
Start this show. I'm dead.
Shout out to everyone that supported us.
Yes. Shout out to WWE Shop for posting us.
Exactly. Posting us.
Yes.
We're going to keep doing more and more skits, right?
We definitely are. And you know who I hope would stop doing stuff? Bobby Lashley.
Go ahead. 2 weeks in a row. You just made it. Just went right into it.
Because it's like, now they got Bobby Lashley going against Roman Reigns.
Well,
that's how they started off Raw with Kurt Angle.
Before you even get into the actual show, I want to let people know we thought about it and we want to kind of switch up the flow of the show. Did that rhyme? The flow of the show. Flow of the show.
Okay, MC Light.
MC Light. Give me Cardi or someone current. MC Light.
Sorry.
Anyway, we're gonna change up the show a little bit, right?
Yeah. So for the next couple of episodes, you'll see a lot of changes happen.
So bear with us because it might not be as
And she's let me in one show. She's gonna let me quarterback, and I have plans.
This is gonna be interesting. Anyway, yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
So instead of us actually going over recaps of the whole show, because basically you guys watch the show, right? So you don't have to tell people what happened.
Right, every week.
Exactly. So we're going to pick a couple of segments and matches and whatever that stood out to us. And basically we're going to obviously
book it.
We're going to go through it a little bit, but pretend we're like we're the producers of the match or segment, and how would we book it instead?
Right.
It gives us a little bit more of a discussion base as to just let's recap like that.
Right.
Sounds good? And then we're going to time ourselves just because, we don't have a whole show, right?
You're right.
All right. So let's see how this works out. I might even say forget the timing of it.
Yeah, because I just did a calculation and...
You want to say forget it?
Yeah, because if we do the way we calculated it,
yeah,
we still would spend about like 40 minutes
In general, we're just
In
talking about.
general.
All right, whatever. And
let's flow with it.
let's just flow with it. Okay, but that's
See?
that's.
On the fly. We're just gonna change things up.
See,
as
I
we go.
wasn't so structured right now, right? I just on the fly, I said whatever. Am I right or am I right?
You're high.
All right, so go ahead. Continue with what you didn't like and didn't want to
Well,
show
it's
up.
like Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns started off the Raw, of course, with Kurt Angle announcing that the multi-elimination match that was scheduled to be the number one contender is canceled.
Right.
I kind of felt that to be
of course
awkward.
of course it's canceled because Brock doesn't. There's no champion, so of course it's canceled.
Nah, they're just running with that. I feel like they just wanted to call it audible because they didn't know who to put in. You know what it was? They don't want to put the same people in the match because they just had this happen. Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber.
Bobby Lashley wasn't in the match.
He was in Elimination Chamber. No,
No,
he wasn't. But I just feel like it's just one of those things. Like we gonna constantly do this. And I didn't like how they started off again with the Revival interrupting them.
You didn't like it?
No.
Okay.
It was like deja vu. I was like, wait, didn't we just... I legit thought I was having deja vu. Like, wait, didn't this happen before? And I looked on Twitter, everybody was like, yo, this is the repeat. I'm like, I know I'm not tripping.
Right.
Like, it was just...
And then Constable Baron Corbin created a match. Like you said, deja vu created a match. But this time...
They picked up the win when they rolled up Roman because of a miscommunication.
You didn't like that? I know you like anytime Roman doesn't prosper, you're A-okay with that, so.
Yeah, but then you're teasing something that's not probably going to happen.
Okay, so with that said, you don't like this segment. So as the producer of this segment and match, how would you do it?
I wouldn't kick off like that. I would let Kurt Angle make this announcement.
All right, talk about it.
I'll let Kurt Angle come out and make the announcement that we're not doing a multiple person elimination chamber,
Multi-man.
whatever they called it, elimination to
Help
find
us-
out the number one contender,
Help this man out.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then tell us what they're gonna do next. They didn't say what they're gonna do next.
So as the producer, what would you do next?
I would put Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns, and I know you're gonna hate this, McIntyre.
Why do you think I would hate that?
I'm talking about like in a triple threat situation, like it's another multi-person match, but I would put them in a triple threat, and see.
But why do you think I would hate it?
I'm not saying you in general. I'm just saying like people in general like the whole multi-people in the match, like tag team matches, 6-man tags, triple threat, 4 corners. Like
so, this is the match. This is a match starting off the show, or this is what you would be making for Extreme Rules?
For Extreme Rules.
Okay, so
that's the announcement I would have it make.
Okay.
Just to set the tone for the night. Like, yo, these are the 3 people that's gonna be involved. Because right now we're confused. We don't know what the hell's going on, especially when you go on later into the night.
So this triple threat match between these 3 is a number one contenders match.
Right.
Okay. To face Brock at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Okay. And then would you have a match going on? Talk to me.
No, that was them coming out. I'm not big on
Match
talking 20 minutes into Raw.
Okay.
Just have come out. You're gonna change it up. Come out. He could do it from his office. Like we're kicking off Raw like this. We're gonna set up this match for Extreme Rules, and then move forward, and then let the story develop on its own. Okay. That's just me. And then go into the first match of Raw.
Okay.
Because when the last time a match just kicked off Raw?
Okay. Okay.
So that's how I would do it.
Okay. I don't necessarily care for that.
I can tell.
I'm okay with Kurt Angle coming out and announcing that the multi-man number one contenders match. That's how you say it. Because I know you were having an issue.
Can you go on about your voice?
I'm just letting you know. I know you don't. I'm just letting you know.
Go ahead.
I don't have an issue with him coming out explaining that. Again, as much as I do like Roman Reigns, obviously he needs a different direction. And these are 2 characters that need different directions, right? You have Bobby, who his return has been underwhelming. Right. And then you have Roman, who is not getting over. So how do we fix that? We have Bobby. I thought it was a good interaction between Bobby and Roman. Roman had some stingers. He had, what did he say? He's like, while you're you were nowhere to be found. Basically,
he did. He had a couple of zingers. He had his
right
Impact in reference too.
exactly.
I peeped that like really gonna be an Impact.
Exactly. And then Bobby had his stingers too. So even though Bobby's not the best on the mic, he did have a little stingers. I like the fact that the Revival came and rolled up Roman, because I've been saying this for weeks. I think Roman needs to kind of go on a downward spiral just to continue to lose. I know that's not going to happen, but if I want to change the product and finally get this man over, I'm going to keep having him go down maybe a losing streak, let's say. And obviously the fans will be behind that, because then that would help him turn as a heel. Right? Like he just kind of snaps type thing, because he just keeps losing. He's supposed to be the big dog, and he keeps losing. So that roll up I think was good, because that's so beneath him. Like Roman Reigns, he doesn't get beaten by a roll up or what have you. And I would have Bobby Lashley kind of like attack him, because he ruined the match for them, right? Because again,
he should have attacked him after that match,
right? Because that's going to get Bobby over, just for the simple fact people hate Roman, right? So they're going to just cheer that. Right? And, that gets him over. Roman is continuing, to lose, so that's going to make people happy. And then that will help build a feud between the two, because I think they will both benefit from a feud from each other. Bobby needs to get put over, right?
Right.
This is the perfect way to be put over, by going over Roman Reigns. And then that makes him not only... It helps his character and with the fans, but it also makes him a legitimate threat to face Brock at SummerSlam. Oh, you don't like it?
Yeah, it's like the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
The only thing is that you add that he attacks him afterwards, and that's it.
You wanted a triple threat match. I didn't include McIntyre. It's completely different what you said.
No, I'm saying in terms of what they did. Raw, how Raw kicked off.
No, it's slightly different, sir.
As I said, it's slightly different.
But you said basically the same.
But it's basically the same. Slightly different, basically the same, or the same thing.
But it's not the same.
Okay. Did you realize how Lashley had his headband and it said Nike on it, and the ref stopped in the middle of the match to tell him to flip it?
Yeah, I didn't even peep that.
Yeah, he had a big Nike sign. I'm watching it like, yo, he got a Nike headband on. This is not good. And then you see the ref just stop, checking on him, and it's like, yo, you got to flip your headband. See? He's like, oh, snap.
You're a WWE guy. You peep these things, right?
I pay attention to small details.
So another match that stood out, well, not really stood out, but I guess we found interesting. AOP versus a couple of jobbers, Rich and Rex Gibson. So obviously
they're brothers.
Yeah. Wow. Good job.
They might be cousins.
Good job. Anyway, so AOP. Before they came out to their match, right? They were bullying employees backstage, whatever. The big dudes, they put fear in people's hearts, right? Titus Worldwide happened to take notice and say, this is not how, we don't do this around here, which technically they do that around here. But okay, you need the hero in the story, right? So AOP wasn't trying to hear all of that. Then there was a match between AOP and the jobbers.
Hey, the Gibson brothers.
The Gibson brothers.
Or cousins.
Obviously, AOP won, and then...
started attacking.
Exactly, and then Titus Worldwide came out and chased AOP out of the ring. So, we've been talking about this for weeks. AOP and Sanity have not been present on the shows, right? So, how do we get AOP over?
Want to start off? Do you want to start off?
What was that?
That was my dad.
Okay.
Well, anyway, do you want to start off?
No, you can start it off.
I started off last time.
How do I start it off? How would I change it? To get AOP over, I would have them face a couple of.
Who's that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay.
I would have them. Yeah, I would have the whole point of AOP. They're dominant, right? So I would have them face jobbers. Obviously, I would have more backstage segment with them, kind of just terrorizing people backstage and like putting fear into people's hearts. So I mean, like they alluded to that backstage, but it really wasn't anything crazy. You know what I mean? I would go into locker rooms and just attack whoever I can attack, and that just creates buzz. Because it's kind of when I think of like Braun Strowman, right? How did Braun Strowman got so over? It was just the random backstage segments of flipping ambulances and all this other stuff. And I view AOP that way, not so much as a comedic relief,
right?
But in that just terrorizing people and just destroying stuff. So that's how one way I would put them over, by doing that.
I would book that in the tag team division completely different.
Okay.
I would have them have the B team in the ring, you know, saying how they're, you know, undefeated or whatever the case may be, how they're the next upcoming challengers for the tag team titles. I'd have had AOP just come out there and destroy them.
I mean, so now essentially this is the same thing. No? You said you would have AOP destroy them.
The B team, and like we're the real threat, or even have the B team.
So, but now that diminishes the B team's push. No,
I don't think they should be having a push. I love the B team; they're funny.
You love them, but you
not
don't...
for the title picture, because the title picture has been a joke, and I need it to be serious again.
Okay, I hear that. I definitely hear that. So you would have...
I would have B team either in the middle of a promo or offer open challenge to any tag team because they're undefeated and they're feeling confident, and have AOP just come out and destroy them.
But my thing is, it's like, if AOP, why would... I feel like open challenges are for those who carry the titles, not for just any random team.
I mean, if they're undefeated, they want to put undefeated streak on the line. Like, yo, we're undefeated. Yeah, that happens.
How often does it happen?
Not often, but it's not impossible.
I'm not saying it's... Okay, so refresh my memory. When was the last time that happened?
Kurt Hawkins does that with his current streak.
Winning streaks.
It's still a streak.
Okay, but who puts open challenges?
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and spend time trying to think of one person, but
okay, because you were very
possible.
confident about it. You were very confident about it.
It's happened. I'm not gonna sit here and try to figure out who, but it has happened. So I would have had it that way, and you know, put AOP in the tag team title picture against the Deleters of the World, so it could be more serious. That's just me. I want the tag team titles to be serious.
But is the Deleter of Worlds, are they being viewed seriously?
If they're given the right opponent like AOP and they have to turn up that notch like that, yeah, but you're facing B team. So now you're looking at comic relief, like you said.
So now what do we do with Titus Worldwide? Because clearly they're the heroes of this story. Do we leave
break them up?
You would break them up.
Yes, I'm tired of Titus Worldwide. That's just me. Like,
okay.
I would have Apollo turn on Titus and give Apollo a heel run.
You have Apollo Crews turn on Titus?
Yeah.
I like that.
It's not working.
I think Apollo's character is very stale. I think I've mentioned that.
Right.
You know, it's been stale for me since NXT.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think so. I think, especially since he's growing out the facial hair, it just makes him more serious and what have you. And yeah, they need something because it was cute for a second,
right?
For a very small second, but I just feel
you don't see Dana no more.
Well, you did see Dana there.
Tozawa went to 205.
Dana was there though.
She was?
Yeah.
Okay. That's my point. Like, is she wrestling? What is she do? Like, Titus Worldwide is not doing anything.
Mm-hmm. So you would break up Titus Worldwide, and then have AOP face
the Leaders of the World.
First the B team.
Yep, destroy them, and then face Matt and Bray. Yep.
Okay.
And had them have a good feud.
That I don't mind, but I definitely I would like more destruction from AOP.
Of course.
You know.
That's why the B team is there.
No, but in general, besides the B team, I think, you know, because again, B team is a comedic relief, right? So it's like, yeah, of course they were gonna beat them, but like, you know how kind of like the Shield came in and they was just, you know, whoever it was, they were interfering into matches and just,
right.
You know, I would like to see that from AOP.
Just attack every tag team match.
Exactly.
I can see that.
And obviously say we're the most dominant tag team, and then that's when they
brings up the Deleters as well.
Exactly. So we worked together. It was like a co-produced segment match, fine. Right?
I'll give it to you.
All right. What do we have next?
Alexa Bliss versus Natalya.
You just seem so. Well, I chose to talk about this.
Yes.
Reason why I wanted to talk about it because they went back. They went to having Alexa as the Raw Women's Champion. So what do we do right now with her since Ronda is suspended for 30 days? So
have her feud with her best friend, apparently.
well, before that, we had Alexa. I need you to be, participate and enjoy the participation.
Yeah, that's what I said. A feud with her best friend. That's part of the.
Well, essentially, that wasn't really the segment. Alexa. So Mickey James came out, her sidekick /
Poor Mickey.
best friend,
Free Mickey.
or whatever. I like that, free Mickey. She has a single out with the Yin Yang Twins. Did
Yeah, I
you
do.
that?
I've heard it.
Is it good?
It's all right.
You gotta do something, right?
Yeah.
If you're not being utilized properly on Raw.
Past time somehow.
Her other passion. Let's put out some music. I hear that. I'm not even mad. I gotta listen to that. But yeah, so Mickey came out with Alexa and basically introduced her as the Raw Women's Champion, and they basically celebrated that Ronda Rousey is suspended for 30 days. Alexa did her thing. And you know what? Here we go. I'm gonna give her props again. You don't seem impressed.
I blame you that she won the title.
Is it me?
Yes.
Is it really me?
Because you said, oh, she
somehow
improved.
they listened to the
that,
show.
That
like,
Wednesday. Of course they listen to the show. We're connected to them.
Right.
That Wednesday, yeah, we give her props.
Vince McMahon himself.
She did very well. She did very well. And then Sunday, boom. I text you. I was like, yo, this is your fault.
That was thought of a million years ago. He knew who he wanted to be champion.
Like, come on.
Anyway, what was I saying?
And then Natalya came out to interrupt their celebration.
No, I wanted to give Alexa her props. The reason why I wanted to give her props because, again, although we get on her about her wrestling ability, she holds her own on the mic. When they first came out, the crowd was not very interested. There was, when she came out, there was a slight pop or whatever. But in general, when the segment started, I don't know if it's because Mickey was there or what, but they didn't seem interested. And Alexa, that didn't deter Alexa. Like, she just kept at it or whatever, and she did what she did. What she normally does, and that's be a good heel, and be irritating and annoying on the mic. So. And I think she did a pretty good job with that. But after that, Natalya came out, basically said her best friend is coming, or her good friend is coming. I don't know if she said best friend. She said her good friend, Ronda Rousey, is coming. She said best friend? Okay, well, she's coming. And that basically led to a match between Natty and Bliss, with Nia Jax showing up. Yeah. And then Nia caused the distraction, helping Natalya win as with the sharpshooter, right?
Yep.
So, with that said, in the meantime, so now that we know Ronda is suspended, how do we book Alexa as the champion right now? Who does she feud with? What do we do?
This is fine. I'm fine with this.
Are you really fine with it?
Yes, because if it's going to lead to Ronda Rousey, why not have her feud with her best friend in the meantime? That's the only connection that Ronda has in the company right now.
But my thing is, why? If that's the case, why would I'm actually fine with it as well. I don't think Alexa should feud with Nia. We already saw that feud. It wasn't that great. I like the feud between her and Natalya. However, I think Alexa should have won because it makes her dominant going in against Ronda, who's extremely dominant.
Wait, isn't she facing Nia at Extreme Rules?
That's what I'm saying. So how I would change it, I would have, obviously at the end of the day, Nia needs her rematch, so that's a given. But let's just throw that out the window and say her and Natalya are facing off because, like you said, that's the connection to Ronda. I would have had Alexa win just to keep her
push going.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Her whole reign of terror as the champion can continue that, make her dominant.
I would even have Mickey fight in this match instead of...
Why Mickey?
Because now what you going to do for the next 3 weeks?
I mean, it could start a little feud between Natalya and
yeah, but the
Alexa.
focus is supposed to be against Nia because Nia is at the next pay-per-view, not Ronda.
So how would you incorporate Nia if that's the case? This is what's given to you. So what do you do?
This is such a mess.
So fix it. What do we do?
How do you fix this? I would have had her rematch not happen at Extreme Rules. Have her rematch happen on Raw. Because now you're prolonging it for what?
Exactly. Okay.
Just to get out the way, have it on Raw.
Okay.
And then have an entire feud to Extreme Rules.
I agree.
With Alexa. Just to tempt, she might win the title.
Yeah. So instead of having Natalya face Alexa at Raw.
It should have been Nia.
So exactly, especially when Natalya came out and saying her best friend is coming, but she has someone in the meantime. Bring out Nia. You have the Raw Women's Championship match, whatever, and then Mickey interferes. That's one way to get involved, and Natalya gets involved some way somehow too. And now you're booking a feud between Natalya and Alexa in the meantime until Ronda comes.
And then now you could deal with Mickey on the sideline.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom.
If you want to be signed by the WWE, buddy, you need to be a little bit more enthused, don't you think?
I'm not fake. I'm gonna tell you.
Well, it's not about being fake, but if you put in a position, it's all about letting go who you actually like and don't like, right? You got to do what's best for the company.
No, of course, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's not about being fake. It's just you have.
But we just did a booking together. We booked it.
Right, but so you got to let that whatever feelings you have go, let it out the window because it's your job to do, right?
You're right.
So go ahead.
We did it.
Okay.
Yay, teamwork.
Go ahead. Give me something for that. And next up, we had my favorite segment. Do you see my shirt, by the way?
Yeah, I seen you had an interesting choice this week. You had Sasha and Bailey.
Yes, Rob Schamberger shirt. Yes. Why? Because we had, developing a script this week in their lovely feud. No.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to talk about it?
Oh, do you want me to break down what happened, or you just want me to say?
Yeah, break down just a little bit. Break down what happened, and then we'll get into it.
Well, Kurt Angle forced Sasha, Banks, Bailey, and Ember Moon to team up. Well, not so much Ember. Ember just was in the middle, caught in the middle of this, and she showed it when they came out together to face the Riot Squad. They had a pretty decent match. A little bit friction still between Bailey and Sasha, of course.
A little bit.
Of course, but
a whole lot.
Bailey saved Sasha in the middle of the match. Match continues.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha lost from distractions, from all the interference between everybody, and
Sasha just hasn't been winning this year, right?
And then Bailey jumped in the ring and attacked her viciously,
and the crowd
put the paws on her.
The crowd went nuts. I think that's when the crowd woke up.
I think
right?
so. I think so because they didn't expect that to happen.
Right.
I didn't expect it either. She jumped in the ring so fast. I'm like, whoa! What just
First of all, where did this come from?
What just happened?
Right.
Y'all was just partners, and y'all didn't even
alluded to this, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then she attacked him some more, threw her into the steel steps.
Everything. She threw her into everything. And then by the time she went backstage, she tried to apologize to Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was like, nah, you have to go to counseling.
Yeah, and then
it's mandatory next week.
Right, and then after the show, if people didn't find out, Kurt went to Sasha in the trainer's room and it told her as well, or demanded that she goes to counseling, or she would also be fired. So I
didn't hear that. I didn't know that.
No? Mm-mm. Oh, well, there you go. So now Sasha and Bailey both have to go to counseling next week. What did you think of the segment? Would you have changed something?
No, I thought the segment was fine. Tell them to go to counseling, I don't see why.
Mm-hmm.
We did this already with Team Hell No.
Right. So now, how would you continue this feud?
I'd have had to let Bailey go in the backstage, apologize to Kurt, said she just lost it. It's been built up, whatever case may be. And then let her speed off and have Sasha look for her for the night. Mm-hmm. And stop it there. Mm-hmm. So that way Sasha can get her payback next week.
And how would she get her payback next week?
Catch her in the parking lot. As soon as she comes out the car, she's been waiting on her.
Yeah.
Catch her in the parking lot and let that happen. Yeah. And then book the match officially for Extreme Rules, Falls Count Anywhere.
Okay.
And that match not happen. Like, it happens, but it doesn't finish because they went too far. Mm-hmm. Which builds it up again and set it up for SummerSlam. That's just me.
Okay, that's just me.
I'm just saying.
You can ask me what I would do.
Sure, what would you do?
So, I think everybody. So first of all, my thoughts of this. You have something?
Yeah, I kind of messed up my idea.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Because originally I thought it would be good to have it this way, and then have Sasha apologize to Bailey. Like, I've never seen you react that way before. Clearly, I pushed the wrong buttons. And you know what? Let's make it up tonight. Let's go against the Riot Squad. 2-on-2. I got your back. Right? Make up. And then
To get her revenge.
get her revenge. And then this will turn Sasha heel, not Bailey.
So you don't like the idea of
Sasha.
Bailey?
Bailey's not heel.
No, I know she's not heel, but there was rumors earlier in the year that how they were thinking about having Bailey turn heel,
Right,
and not Sasha.
Yeah, no.
You're not for that.
No.
Why?
Sasha is better heel than Bailey.
Well, we don't really know how Bailey
would be as a heel, but then you have to change everything from her clothes, her music. She had to do a complete repackage. And do a complete repackage, I think she has to go away for a while.
Exactly.
Not just in the middle of a program like this.
Exactly.
And then not against Sasha. Everybody knows Sasha is more
vicious.
It
doesn't make sense.
A couple of months ago, she couldn't even hit Alexa with a kendo stick.
Right, exactly.
So,
and how do you make Sasha the face in this? How do you get Sasha? You can't really get Sasha over as a face in this feud. So I agree. I wouldn't, I think a lot of people on Twitter was like, "Wait, is Bailey a heel?" And this happened in NXT as well. It is a situation where it's just everything is bottled up.
Yeah, she lets go.
Yeah, especially if the fact after Sasha one-upped her on last week, you know what I mean?
It sped off.
Yeah, Bailey wasn't gonna let all that happen.
Even when Bailey was talking to Kurt Angle, she was mad calm and
was trying to apologize.
Right.
And then even with Alicia Fox, right? She was happy that she was hugging and everything. So how I would book this if I was a producer for this match segment, I like the fact that Bailey attacked Sasha, just gives Bailey a backbone. I wouldn't have booked Sasha to go to counseling because she's not the one that went off. Because remember last week, it was Bailey that again
kept pushing
Sasha's buttons and then attacked her as well. And then this week attacked her again, right?
Right.
I wouldn't have Sasha go to counseling. I'd play it off as she's injured or whatever. I actually said this on Twitter, the point that I'm going to make, and it got quite a few retweets and likes. So I think people were feeling that. I mean, I'm not corny or anything like that. So anyway, but yeah, what I would do is I'd have Sasha, Bailey's in this counseling meeting, and Bailey's her happy-go-lucky self, like realizing her mistakes, and she lets her guard down and what have you.
Right.
And Sasha is like kind of one of the other people in counseling, but you don't really recognize her, and then out of nowhere just attacks her. You know what I mean? Kind of like surprise her and attacks her, and then like this whole, and destroys her. Gets her revenge on Bailey for embarrassing her and this and that and the third. And I think that would be one way to start the heel turn for Sasha.
That could work.
And then I would have a match at Extreme Rules as well. I wouldn't do Falls Count Anywhere just because that was done with her and Charlotte, and I would love to see them in another match, like maybe a street fight match. I would like that because they're both capable of getting really aggressive and going at it. They won't be scared to. Let's say they won't be scared to use weapons.
Yeah, but that was my point. Is Bailey was in a street fight and she didn't use much of anything.
But that's what I'm saying.
For this one,
when was she in a street fight
against Alexa?
It was a kendo stick match. It wasn't a street fight match.
Was it?
It was a kendo stick match.
It was kind of all right.
Right, and it's more weapons we use. They won't be scared to use the weapons. Right, they'll go at it. They're very capable of doing it.
I just wanted to spill out and never end. And they're like, all right, we have no winner. We have to come back to this.
Well, I mean, a street fight match, there is no...
That's what I'm saying. Like, that could still happen.
Be along the lines. Yeah, because you kind of want to, decide it at maybe probably Brooklyn because that's obviously where the magic started, right? So,
Well, it kind of had his chapter close and reopen.
kind of sort of right because then they clearly had another match, the Iron match. Yeah,
they had to.
So, but yeah, I would love to see a street fight match between the two. I think they could definitely pull it out, and you'll definitely see Bailey use some some weapons on Sasha and vice versa. So, all right, and then we had the main event: Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship rematch.
I enjoyed this match.
It was a really good match.
This is the first match I've enjoyed of Dolph Ziggler in a while.
I said it's 2018. Dolph Ziggler is the Intercontinental Champion in the main event of Raw. When's the last time you heard that? Or just a really big storyline around Dolph and it actually working?
It's working now, but I hate to be the Debbie Downer. Right? You're right. Hate to be Debbie Downer.
Okay.
But it doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry.
What doesn't make sense?
Him being IC champion.
Okay.
Because just not too long ago, you won the U.S. title, and you didn't want it, and you just left it in the ring.
But now he had the help of Drew McIntyre that gave him the what he needed to win, to be dominant. No.
But you had the title, and you didn't want it, and you let it go. Why do you want they're equivalent in WWE? So what's the difference? So why did you decide to keep the IC title but drop the? You know what I'm saying? Like
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
How do you change it then? As Vince calls you in and tells you Blue, and
well,
this is not working.
Seth would have lost to Elias.
Okay.
Elias would be IC champion right now.
Okay.
Have him walking around with that guitar. That has the title on it.
And who's Elias facing? Would he still be facing Dolph?
No, he'll give Rollins his rematch and win. Right? His next feud. Who's on Raw is not being used right now. Boom. Apollo.
Apollo, maybe Bobby, maybe
right.
Finn.
There's so many options.
Okay.
So
now what do we do with Dolph Ziggler since you wouldn't? So Seth wouldn't. So you're saying Seth wouldn't would have lost to Elias as opposed to Dolph. Right. What do we do with Dolph and Drew? Because essentially Drew is tied to Dolph. So what do we do? Because now that affects two superstars.
Well, as this segment continued, Roman came back out to even the odds when they tried to jump Rollins. There's been house shows where Roman and Drew are pairing up, so it seems like that's where the feud is going. That's why I said the Bobby Lashley thing don't make no sense because clearly you're going this route because Bobby's supposed to be the one that's being the one getting ready to challenge Brock.
Right.
So that's why I did the triple threat because then it'd be like, all right, now Roman and Drew has a reason to move
to face each other.
Right, and Bobby
does his thing against Brock.
Right.
So now, so what do we do with Dolph?
With Dolph? Let Dolph back McIntyre for a bit.
Is that how it worked when
Shawn and Diesel? Yeah, for a bit when Shawn was hurt. Then Diesel was carrying the heavyweight title. Shawn was at his side. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how I would have did. Okay. That's just me. And Seth could have been in the picture for the heavyweight title. Let whatever him and Bobby could do, he could definitely help out Bobby. He could definitely help out Bobby Lashley.
Why Bobby and not Roman if that's his boy?
I'm talking about in terms, not help.
Just help him move, make him more legitimate.
Have a program.
Make him more legitimate, excuse me.
Right, so when Bobby Lashley defeats Lesnar, now Seth could come back around like, nah, I want another crack at it. Okay. Kind of situation. That's how I would have did it.
Why you looked at me like that? There's so much passion. Like you really felt what you were saying.
I've sat and thought about this a bit. I've been saying about this for a couple of weeks.
All right, so what I would do, I agree. I probably would have had Seth lose to Elias because that is a time for Elias to have some type of title.
Yep.
But since that didn't happen, we're working with what we have now. This is tough because somehow I need Seth to. I've been calling for Seth to go
to the main spotlight.
Exactly. Well, I wouldn't have Roman come out. I think a Roman and Bobby Lashley program would be good. Like I said, for both characters, I would have had Dolph and Dolph win, and then them continue to beat Seth. I'm trying to figure out how, because then that makes Seth weak. How do you have him come back
and go to the main spotlight?
Yeah. Well, that's a toughie. I like what they, but I like what they did. But it's just now it's like, what's the direction for Seth and Roman? If this is, you know what I mean? Because this is obviously going to lead next week to a tag team match. You know what I mean?
Really, another tag team match on Raw?
On WWE, let's not act like we don't do it on both brands. No, I would honestly.
On SmackDown.
Honestly, I would have had Dolph win, like he did, because if we're gonna continue with this Diesel and Shawn Michaels kind of like storyline thing, what do you have to do? You have to be dominant, right?
Right.
And Dolph is a show off, arrogant. I feel like his character is very similar, kind of, sort of, to HBK.
Kind of, sort of. That's an understatement.
Yeah. Well, there's similarities and there's not so much similarities with the two characters, right?
How so?
Well, because Shawn Michaels was like a ladies man. Dolph Ziggler he just shows off. He never really came off as a ladies man.
Yeah, he did at one point.
Currently, right now.
Well, that's because he got too tired of being compared. He's trying to change it a little bit.
But that's been for a few years now, though. He's been just a show off.
Right.
So, but anyway, besides the point, I would continue that, right, and just have Dolph and McIntyre just kind of create havoc on the show, because then that'll make, since McIntyre is his muscle, right, that makes him more legitimate. So when the time comes, he can get into a heavyweight title picture type thing, feud with someone. So I would have them create havoc, basically.
Okay.
And that was Raw. What did you think?
You're gonna think I'm being
biased? Yeah, I'm gonna think you're being biased. But go ahead, talk to me.
I get like a C+.
I thought it was a.
The plus helped because of the whole Bailey and Sasha thing.
Well,
I gave it the plus.
Anytime Sasha's involved, right? It helps. Anyway, but I'm gonna give it a B.
You give it a B?
Yeah. What did the people think?
The people spoke and they gave Raw a B plus.
It's pretty good. It probably had a lot to do with the Sasha and Bailey thing. That's what really saved it.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
You even saw with the audience, it woke up the
woke up the crowd, and I think also the Seth Rollins and Dolph
and
Ziggler
that was
match
a really good match too. It was a very good match.
A lot.
So, then we get into SmackDown Live, and the Miz starts off with Miz TV and the Bludgeon Brothers. Now, this is nothing really exciting happened with this segment, but I found it interesting. Daniel Bryan came out. And obviously that sets up a match between him and Luke Harper for the main event. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this segment and change it around a little bit, because we know there's a budding feud between Daniel Bryan and The Miz. A backstory with that. They didn't really allude to that. And this is something that everything we've been wanting.
Right.
So
they're saving it.
They're saving it, but it's kind of like, when you think about Sasha and Bailey, they was just trying to figure out the right time to, it was slow burn, right? So now, how do we start doing a slow burn with this? What do we do?
They're doing a slow burn. They're trying to say this for WrestleMania.
But is it a really slow burn? Because there was nothing that was really.
Yeah, no. Miz took shots at Daniel Bryan during his promos.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Miz came out, when Daniel Bryan came out, he made some references towards the Miz, but he's like, I got to deal with the Bludgeon Brothers right now.
Mm-hmm. So if you're the producer of this segment, would you change anything?
No, it was pretty cool in my opinion. It led to what happened. It connected with what happened last week.
Mm-hmm.
I know what they're trying to do with Miz and Daniel Bryan saving it for WrestleMania kind of situation, and I'm for that. So I won't have a problem with this segment.
I would have changed it a little bit. I would have had a little bit more of an altercation. Daniel Bryan trying to get at the Miz.
But that wouldn't be smart against 3 people.
But he's a fight. He fights. He never gives up, right? He doesn't have that stay down.
That's John Cena. He never gives up.
Regardless of the slogan or whatever, that is Daniel Bryan's MO. Right? He doesn't give up.
I mean, he gotta be dumb about it. Like,
he doesn't give up.
I know, but he gotta be dumb about it and try to fight.
It's not about being dumb. He doesn't give up. If someone keeps antagonizing you, right? You think about it in real life. If someone keeps antagonizing you and take shots at you and you were defenseless, it's not about being dumb. You see red. I'm gonna attack you. It doesn't necessarily mean he was gonna actually attack him, but try to get at him. You know. Right.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead. It's your time.
Yeah, I would had Daniel Bryan try to get at him or whatever, and then obviously Luke Harper's there, and this other guy Rowan is there, and beats up on him some more with the Miz egging it on, and then obviously Paige or whatever comes out and makes the main event. Yeah, that's what I would have did. I would have tried to, again, it's a slow burn, but kind of have a little bit more, give us a little something. Because, right, going back to Sasha and Bayley, like, people are so invested, but then people didn't know what the heck was going on, so they were like, I'm not invested anymore. I don't want that to be a situation with Daniel Bryan and The Miz. Obviously, we're all still for it. We know what happened on Talking Smack, but, you know, the WWE has, you know, capabilities of kind of, like, making us not want something anymore and turning us off on something. So I don't want that. Yeah, I don't want that to be a situation.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen with this one.
No, I don't think so, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, like.
Give us a little something.
Give it time. It's going to be a nice little.
What was that? You know I can't whistle.
You can't whistle?
No, I promise you. I used to practice all the time when I was younger.
You can't whistle?
No.
That is so hilarious.
I can't.
Try it again.
Yeah.
Matt, can you whistle? See, I can't do the one with the hands. That's hard. I've been trying to learn.
I remember my cousin used to do that when I was younger, and I was just so impressed by that. I can't do that either. Whatever, I'm just not gifted. It's okay.
It's okay. I'm gonna teach you. We're gonna figure it out.
I don't care.
My son's trying to whistle now.
At 27, turning 28 on Monday, July 2nd.
Nice plug.
Thank you. I don't care to learn how to whistle. It's over with. Anyway, the next match we had, the first match we had was Xavier Woods versus Rusev.
It was a very impressive match.
It was a very good match. See, Xavier I feel like is viewed as
the third wheel.
Not the third wheel, the underdog. Like kind of like the Shield, right? We kind of first viewed Seth as like the
background.
Exactly. Not as good as the other two. We kind of view Xavier Woods, or that's the impression that's given off. But
who's we?
In general.
Okay. Not me.
I didn't say you.
Okay.
I'm just saying in general.
Just making
sure. That he's not as good as Big E and Kofi, especially like, for example, right, for Money in the Bank.
They went with Kofi.
It was either him or Big E, but not Xavier Wood wasn't thought of as being that guy. Going back to this match, it was a very, very good match between the two superstars. And Rusev pulled out the win.
Of course, because he's on his way to face AJ.
Of course, so you have to book him a certain way.
Yeah.
So, reason why I chose this match because last week we saw Rusev. Now, he could be a tweener or what have you, but we saw Rusev kind of like go at Aiden English like, what are you doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? This week, it was more of a heelish promo against AJ. So, how do you book this feud? AJ's was doing promo or what have you. He wasn't there. So, how do you bring him next week and really get this feud? Especially because AJ's the face, right? He's on the cover of WWE 2K19, right? So he's obviously going to be the face, right?
Yep.
And he's obviously going to hold the title for a while.
Yep.
Okay. He's gonna hold the title for a while. So how do we continue to book AJ? Because let's face it, I've seen a lot of people that are kind of not over AJ, but kind of tired of this run, right? So how do we continue to book AJ where he's still favorable, and how do we book Rusev as maybe not so favorable because Rusev Day is really still popular?
If I would do this,
you're the producer. Vince goes to you again.
This is a perfect time for a double turn.
Do it again.
What?
You just went.
Turn.
Okay. Good job.
Because I like AJ right now, but I would really... Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I put it in the middle so you can do some more of that.
There you go.
But I love a heel AJ.
Mm-hmm.
And the club are great.
Watch it, buddy.
The club are great as heels. So I would love to see those guys help AJ to get that one up on Rusev because he has Aiden English. So it's like, all right, let's even the odds in our favor.
It's not really even the odds.
That's what I'm saying. In our favor.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the perfect time for that double turn to happen.
How do you turn AJ heel, though?
Have him have a match with Aiden English next week. Let him beat Aiden English. Let him, after the match, kind of, disrespect him a bit. Make Rusev jump in the ring like, yo, that's enough. Like, you won. Kind of situation. So he started getting a little cocky.
What would be the reasoning for what would be AJ's excuse for turning heel?
That he's not getting the recognition that he thinks he deserves.
The man is on 2K19, though.
I know, but how many people have gotten what they deserve and they still think this is not enough? Like, the wrestlers don't respect me. You see what he did to me last time I was here. You know what I'm saying? Like, something like that.
So what I would do a double turn as well, because at this point, Rusev Day is super hot. A lot of people might feel AJ is stale, so I would definitely do a turn. And I was thinking, right as you were saying it, I was thinking the way to have him turn heel would probably be Aiden English. They have a match, and he gets like a chair or whatever, and just I wouldn't bring out the club because I just don't think that's...
No, I'm not saying next week bring out the club.
I'm not saying next week.
All the time.
I'm not saying next week. In general, I would not bring the club.
Oh,
I know you are marked for the club, but
they were guys. Sorry, time out. She don't remember when AJ. Not you, man. I was talking to the audience because man stopped. Like, wait, pause. Okay, no, never mind. No, there you go. For life. She don't remember the time when the club were doing beat up John Cena, and when the club won the tag team titles, and that whole time they was doing they funny promos. They're hilarious together. Please remind her.
Please remind me because it's a blur for me.
They were hilarious together.
Anyway, so I wouldn't bring out the club. I would have AJ destroy Aiden English, get a chair, and basically the reasoning for his heel turn would be not because he's not getting enough recognition, but you're not respecting me as a champion. You know what I mean? This is who you give me. I need to be facing greater superstars, and you give me the likes of Aiden English. I'm the face of this company. I run SmackDown. I'm on the cover of 2K19. Respect me, type thing. That's how I would have him turn.
That would work.
Kind of reminds me. His reign is starting to remind me of CM Punk a little bit.
Yeah.
Because CM Punk, remember, in order to keep him fresh, he was face and then turned heel.
Yeah.
At this point, AJ needs to go heel, especially if we're going to have him continue to hold on to this title so God knows how long.
Yeah. Because I don't really see him. Me personally, I don't know how you feel. I don't see nobody taking it from him on SmackDown yet.
I mean, there was opportunities for people to take it.
Yeah, Shinsuke definitely.
Not even Shinsuke, but just, I was calling for the Miz to have the briefcase and cash in and what have you, and win have Daniel Bryan, but we don't. That's all in limbo right now, like you said, WrestleMania. So we'll see. But that's how I would turn him heel. Have Rusev, because then you saw too the segment with Naomi, Lana, and the cast of Glow.
Yeah, Lana.
Then exactly. Face, right? So it's only right to turn her husband as well as face, and let's just go full full fledged with Rusev Day. So that's what I would do to get this feud on and popping, right?
Right.
We have the next. Was it the next match or just one of them?
This one. Let's just say one of the matches.
One of the matches.
It literally was a U.S. title match because
Yes.
Shinsuke's out with an injury.
Yes, we'll talk about it a little later.
But yeah, and then it turned into a 6-man. So.
Well, how did it turn into a 6-man?
I'm just saying, like, that's just the premise of it. Well, it was Eric Young versus Jeff Hardy.
Yes, for the United States Championship.
And, of course, you know, Sandy's on the outside. They interfered, so the Usos came out.
They didn't interfere just yet, but
yeah, there was, like,
distractions,
basically. Yeah. And Usos came out to
they didn't forget what they
happened
did.
last week. And they came to even out the odds, went with the commercial break, and we came back, and guess what happened? 6-man tag. SmackDown with the tag team match. But it was pretty good as a tag team too. It was a pretty good tag.
It was a good match. And Usos and Jeff Hardy won. So again, same situation in AOP. We have Sanity on SmackDown. Finally, we fans been wanting Sanity to show up.
Right.
So what do we do? Sanity. We got Sanity. How do we book them as a dominant tag team?
I like this. What happened that night? Mm-hmm. The only difference was I would have let Sanity win. Because you just made them lose their first match.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was the dominance? Yeah. They've been tagging together longer than Usos and Jeff Hardy.
Mm-hmm. So they should be more of a cohesive unit.
Right. Mm-hmm. So they should have won. Yeah. So that's the only thing I would have changed on that one.
Yeah, I think if I'm booking this, Usos is kind of like the standard when it comes to tag teams, right? Especially on SmackDown.
Yep.
So I think they chose the right person, the right team to help move Sanity along. Sanity is crazy, obviously. So you want to like you said, I would have had Sanity win just because it's a cohesive unit that they know each other. They've been a team for forever, right? So I would have had them won, and I would have had them won kind of
dominantly.
Is that a word? Viciously. Do something really like this. That's
vicious. This is sanity.
This
is insane.
Yeah. Right? Hence the name Sanity. You know what I mean?
Had them handcuff the Usos to the ropes or something.
Yeah, but you know, this is PG, so we can't get too crazy.
They can handcuff the Usos so they can't tag in.
But I'm saying, just can't get too crazy.
Yeah.
Right? But I would definitely have Sanity do something a little crazy to just get them over. Because now if you want to fear them, right? Type thing. And again, I'm pretty sure we will have some really dope matches between Usos and Sanity. So
yeah, it's gonna be an interesting trio of matches.
Yes. What do we have? Main event, right?
Main event.
So now we had Daniel Bryan versus Luke Harper in the main event. His boy Eric Rowan interfered.
And they started jumping Daniel Bryan. So you had a feeling on what was going to happen. Yeah, I kind of had
because literally we were on the phone, right?
It was.
And you said, I think they'll probably have Kane come out and do Team Hell No. As soon as that said that, about 5 seconds later, his music starts. Kane came out and Team Hell No is back together, reunited, and it feels so good.
Is that allowed to say that?
Huh?
Yeah.
Stop it. You're being corny. Stop.
Oh, it's me now. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, I had a feeling from the moment that they had the Bludgeon Brothers attack him last week. Mm-hmm. I'm like, who could come out and help out Daniel Bryan in this tag team situation? Mm-hmm. Oh, Kane. Mm-hmm. His long-lost tag team partner.
Yeah.
So, and then I read something during the weekend that it might be possible, because I'm pretty sure other people thought of it too. Mm-hmm. And then it came to fruition,
So as a producer, what are we doing? Because we're keeping Daniel Bryan stuck in a tag team for the time being. You know, Kane or Glenn Jacobs, whoever is supposed to be, running for mayor.
Right.
How is this? How long is this feud gonna last?
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
I feel like they're stalling.
Stalling for what? For him and Miz? Because that's not, like you said, it won't be happening.
Not only that, I think that there's been reports that Daniel Bryan hasn't signed his extension yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this is just a stall tactic to like just keep him busy for now, because apparently there was plans for him to win the Money in the Bank, but he's like, nah, we don't know what he's doing yet. Let's cover our butts. So let's bring Team Hell No. I don't know if I like it, only because I don't like the whole pairing individuals to go against tag teams. Because Paige came out, was like, hey, tag team titles are Extreme Rules. What happened to everybody else in the tag team division? They've been tagging for the past couple of months.
Right.
So that's the only thing I have about it is I dislike individuals being put together. Of course, they've been in a tag team before. It made sense then. Now it's like, really?
And I agree. That's not so much why I dislike it. I'm not necessarily against that. I understand it does take away from other tag teams. That is what I'm more so against. I'm more so against the fact that, like I just mentioned a couple of seconds or a couple minutes ago, Kane, Glenn Jacobs, he essentially at this point, he is a part-timer. So now you're taking away from possible feuds that Daniel Bryan can get into or what have you. I've always liked the whole Daniel Bryan You're making a face.
Go ahead, continue.
I like the whole thing of Daniel Bryan trying to overcome stuff, and I just feel like ever since he's come back, it hasn't been a situation where he has to overcome something.
Right.
That just makes him, the greatest superstars we can kind of relate to, right?
Right.
And in this situation, I don't see Daniel, since he's been back as a wrestler, anything that we can relate to.
Right.
The only thing that we have going for Daniel Bryan is the yes chance. That's always going to be, he's going to always be over just because of that. But there's nothing that's having us make him like relatable. So honestly, I wouldn't have brought Kane. I like Team Hell No. It was funny then, but that was a couple of years ago. How is that going to work now? I wouldn't have even done all of that. I would have kind of had Luke kind of just pounce on Daniel Bryan. I wouldn't have even mind a feud between all three of them, right? Just have, that Daniel Bryan is just trying to overcome this obstacle, which is the Bludgeon Brothers.
I have an idea. Maybe that this is a setup for long-term thinking. Maybe I'll bring Kane versus Undertaker to finish them to retire together at WrestleMania.
Oh, God, that's going to be a match to watch.
I just thought about, what if this is what this is building up to? Because, Undertaker on his quote-unquote farewell tour, kind of, sort of, not officially.
Is it? I don't know at this point.
So, maybe.
So what did you think of SmackDown Live? I swear if you rated that better than Raw.
No, I give it about a C+.
I'm just going to slug you into next year.
What about you?
What did you say?
C+.
I gave it a C+. C+.
Our listeners gave it a B+.
Okay. People are riding for SmackDown.
Always. Yeah, we had 205 Live. The only thing I really saw was Leo Rush versus Dewey James.
What did you think of Leo?
Leo's is awesome. That was a great start to his introduction to 205 Live.
Yeah, I like his character is very arrogant.
Yeah.
Or what have you. You know what I was thinking, though? One way how I would continue, because he's a heel, and nowadays it's just so hard to get over heels because a lot of times heels are cheered.
Right.
Right? So one thing I would have to make him a legitimate heel is kind of have him be a douchebag to, women in a sense. Because he interviewed Dasha, and then, the whole thing with, who was it, Emma?
Yeah.
Or Tennille, now her name is.
Yeah.
I would have him be a douchebag to women.
I don't think they want to go that route right now.
Why not? I'm not saying he has to hit anybody or do anything crazy.
I know, but it's so sensitive right now. I don't think WWE's trying to touch that. I do agree that he should be, even to the fans, even to the fans.
Yeah, but that's kind of it's typical to be bad mouth the fans. It's typical.
Not bad mouth, like not even just the fans. I think not just to everybody, just be disrespectful to everybody.
When you say, I'm sorry to interrupt, but when you say you don't think they want to go that route, but kind of when you look at Tommaso, for example, in NXT, he's a douchebag to Johnny's wife, right?
But he's also a douchebag to Johnny. That's what I'm saying.
But Leo can be a jerk to everyone.
That's what I meant. Yeah, I'm good with that.
But especially because they have no alliance to Tenille at this point, so it's not like, oh, you know what I mean? She got fired. It is what it. It's not. It is what it is. I don't want people to think that I was for that or making fun of that. But it's been a while, so we can move past it. But that created heat for him. People were not messing with him.
Yeah, he could have did an interview with a little bit of
kind of talk down to like Dasha or something like that.
But he has to do that to everybody.
Yeah,
he has to do that to everybody.
Yeah.
I want to say that because you said to women. Like I don't think it was specified to women. He could do it to everybody. Like
to everyone, but again, because if if you've been in a certain way with women, again, and not so much disrespectful now because now it's crossing the line because it's a PG show, but what makes him apart from any typical arrogant wrestler that's come by or what have you? You know what I mean? That's what I would do, to be honest with you.
I see what you're saying.
NXT, not much happened on there too. We had clearly they're setting up Alistair versus
Ciampa.
I
like this feud.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously Johnny and Tommaso aren't. Bless you.
Thank you.
I don't think that obviously the feud isn't over between the two. Eventually, they're gonna fight for the NXT championship. So
cool.
Johnny and Tommaso, that feud isn't over. It's 1-1.
I know, but they're gonna build up to it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that they're gonna obviously Alistair and Ciampa are gonna face off, and Ciampa's gonna be the next one to take the belt, right, from him, the title.
I think so. There's a possibility for that.
So again, I feel like this is all gearing up to a match between Johnny and him for the championship. What type of match would you put them in?
Hell in a Cell. I've been saying this on Twitter.
So
this is nowhere else to go. You've done everything else with these guys. Let them have it at Hell in a Cell.
So I was talking to my friend Astro, and he said a really good idea. He thinks it should be a 3 stages of Hell match.
Yeah, he said that to me.
Oh, you guys talk?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said that to me on Twitter.
Oh, how about I talk to one of your boys?
You do all the time.
Do I?
Yes, you do.
People love me. Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway. No, but I think I agree with 3 stages of Hell match. What matches would you select?
It has to end in a Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
They've done everything else. That's what I'm saying. It has to be Hell in a Cell. They've done everything else. Mm-hmm. There's not much left for them to do. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the other 2 stages would be. They've done non-sanctioned match. They've done what was the last match? Street fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is left for them to do?
What about an Iron Man match?
It's not brutal enough.
It could be.
It's not brutal enough. They have to create 2 more
stages. Those 2 are, but those 2 are capable of making but think about it. Imagine you had a 2 out of 3 match, an Iron Man match.
2 out of 3 is basically
essentially the same thing. But I'm saying, let's say you have these really really tough matches, you know what I mean? And it's just like really grueling and long, and then ended off with Hell in a Cell. That could be something.
I would say the second match would have to be a submission match.
Yeah.
Just to see them tell that story.
What about a First Blood match?
They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. That's revenue.
TV 14.
I'm with it. That could have been the first match. Second match submission. Third match Hell in a Cell.
So then, okay. So besides that, we had the UK tournament, right? There was 2 nights of it.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see the full of second day.
I didn't either. My life is hectic right now.
Both of us.
We're working wrestling, so.
So But here's some highlights for you guys for the 2 days in case you haven't watched it, and if you have already.
For us too, technically we didn't watch it.
Right. Tony Storm, who is signed to the new WWE UK NXT division.
Number one contender.
She became the number one contender to face Shayna Baszler for her title. Shayna won by countout. Zach Gibson won the number one contender to face Pete Dunne in the UK title match when he won the tournament, which was a great tournament, by the way. If you get a chance to watch it, do. Pete Dunne retained his title. Mustache Mountain had a match against Undisputed Era, and they won the tag team titles.
Are you happy now?
It's hard. I'm stuck in the middle. I'm a middle child because I love Mustache Mountain, and I love Undisputed Era. So it's just one of those things like, Mommy, Daddy, why are you fighting?
Well then, okay.
But that's what it was.
Okay.
But Mustache Mountain won, and they are the new tag team titles for the NXT titles. So. Adam Cole retained against Wolfgang. You put Wolfpack here. His name is Wolfgang.
I was thinking NWO.
I know. It's okay. We've been plotting for you guys. Just know that. So yeah, that's the highlights of the UK tournament. There's some great matches in the tournament itself. Check it out if you haven't. Yeah.
So let's get into hot topics. Enzo Amore, or Real One.
Real One. You put Enzo here. His name is Real One now.
Thank you. I already said that. He was on Stone Cold's podcast, and he talked about a couple of things that stood out. Obviously, the whole rape allegation thing. Basically, Vince's reaction, how the whole suspension and firing came about.
Right.
At first, he was told essentially to go home, and they'll let him know if he would come to SmackDown, to DC basically, because that's where SmackDown at the time was at. And all this occurred around Raw 25.
Right.
Not around the actual Raw 25.
Yeah.
Then he was found out he was suspended, and then quickly he was fired.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, and this was said somewhere. I forgot where I read this on, but basically it made sense. Now when you look at Raw 25, it's just a lot of things were missing because apparently the storyline, it was supposed to open up with a poker match between him and.
They had to call out audibles. I read that during that time too.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I read about. I'm with you. I heard about like Enzo was a big part of. Real One was a real big part of Raw 25, and when this happened, it just like had to call so many audibles. Put a lot of people in disadvantages, like Nia Jax, who had storylines throughout the night and stuff like that. So
it's funny because a lot of people are not necessarily big fans of Enzo or Real One. Well, Enzo at the time, but you can see he really had some clout in the company, basically, right? There were a lot of storylines were kind of tied up with him, which at the end of the day, I'm not saying, I'm never happy for anybody's firing, but it kind of freed up, which was good because it definitely freed up Nia Jax Nia Jax from doing that storyline, which I felt would have been stupid. And it would have been stupid for Enzo, and just it kind of was a blessing in disguise in that sense. Yeah, you know what I mean. It didn't hinder any characters. After that, what else we have for hot topic? Shinsuke Nakamura. The reason why he was pulled from from the match between him and Jeff, he got bit by a police dog at a live event. And when I read that, I'm like, that's what you pull him out for? But I'm thinking, well, no. Canine Union.
Their bites are very, very vicious.
Very vicious, you know what I mean? And who knows if there was any type of tears or what have you. So, that's a little unfortunate and unusual, but.
I hope he sues them.
Hey, right?
They cost him. First of all, I heard he was supposed to win the U.S. title.
Yeah.
So.
And who knows how long he's going to be out for.
Exactly.
Right?
And I'm pretty sure WWE's thinking about doing the same.
Yeah.
Because now they're losing out on money.
Exactly.
So it's going to be interesting to see.
So WWE followed Young Bucks Matt Jackson. What did you think of that?
I found that to be very interesting.
Okay.
There's been talks about maybe Kenny Omega will be bringing the Young Bucks with him when he comes to WWE. So this is and they've been doing a lot of, it's right now the waters of professional wrestling and sports entertainment are becoming very interesting. Just for the simple fact of partnerships being made, trades are being made, and it's just like nope, you forgot to put it. So Hideo is being loaned out.
The reason why I didn't put it, I'm like, did we talk about it this week? Or last week?
No,
so
we
I
didn't.
forgot.
Yeah, Hideo's being loaned out to Noah,
Yeah.
which is the first Japan wrestling company that he was part of when he started out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, Vince, did you bump your head,
Mm-hmm.
or did you give Triple H the keys and didn't tell nobody? So this is getting very interesting, guys. Very
and even
interesting.
we actually didn't talk about a few weeks ago. Was it a couple of weeks when Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks faced the New Day at the E3 event.
Yeah,
they played Street Fighter.
Yep.
And that was just the promos. You know what I mean?
Them
and
going
just
back and forth.
It was fun and
entertaining. Oh.
You know, so how's this gonna turn up?
And even WWE mentioning Kenny
Omega
on their social media, and he's the first person they choose to put on their new Throwback Thursday-ish with what is it? Hidden Gems.
Yeah.
Like
when he was at I forget the promotion he was in.
Right, but it's on WWE Network.
Right.
So it's like,
right.
Guys.
So it's very interesting, especially too when they did the whole cease and desist thing of the Too Sweet thing for Young Bucks. And now all of a sudden they finally met. So who's your favorite Young Buck?
I don't have a favorite.
My favorite is Matt.
Why Matt is your favorite?
I don't know. It's just something about Matt that I love.
I don't have.
I love both. Don't get me wrong, but just sometimes you know how you have a favorite, Jeff or Matt. It's like
with these two, they're the same to me.
Yeah,
in a sense.
Yeah.
I enjoy them.
So SmackDown, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, is moving to Fox. It's official. It's being advertised for October 4th, 2019. They released it as a press release. It's going to be on Fox Sports. And October 4th is a Friday. So we kind of discussed that. We kind of jumped the gun, assuming that this wouldn't be live. It would be taped since SmackDown has always been taped on Tuesdays. But they're still advertising it in the press release as SmackDown Live. And not only are they advertising it as SmackDown Live, they are also now advertising it as the flagship show.
I don't think the live part should waver anybody from thinking that this will not be taped, because they've you know what I'm saying, they've said it's live, but it's taped before, so I don't think there's any preference to that, unless Fox has agreed to foot the bill to do production, because the reason why they have it back to back is because it's easier on the crew and cost efficient.
Obviously.
So
go ahead, Mr. Corporate. Go ahead.
So if Fox is paying the bill, I don't see why not they wouldn't go live. But scheduling wise, I could see.
I mean, listen, they're paying them a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if that's the case, again, like we mentioned a few weeks ago, I really do hope it stays live, just because I hate that when it was there was spoilers.
I didn't watch.
I mean, I didn't too, but I don't know. It was the vibe was different. Keep it Monday, Tuesday. There's so much other things going on the rest of the week. But if you're gonna put it to Friday officially,
keep it live.
Keep it live. But like I said, they call it a flagship show, which I find interesting because
Raw is supposed to be this flagship show,
and USA Raw is going to continue to be on USA, but in their press release, they continue to call Raw the flagship show. So, what is the flagship? What is the A show?
This is going to be interesting, but in my opinion,
I know SmackDown.
It's going to be SmackDown. Only because it's going to be on Fox.
Right. And
I feel like, again, we're not sure whether it's going to be on FS1.
Right.
Or it's going to be on
Fox.
But I have a feeling it's going to be on actual Fox. If it's on actual Fox, that's Channel 5 for us. I don't know what channel it is for you. Or
Channel 5.
And that's free. That's not, you don't need cable for that. That's free. So that opens up the viewerships a lot. Because a lot of people don't have cable anymore. They went digital. Right. So you don't even need to have cable to watch it.
But Raw is the flagship show. This has been around since 1993.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I'm on the fence on what should be called the flagship show. I get it if it does actually go on Fox. What you have to kind of, make it the flagship show. But what do you change the roster, right? The superstars. You're definitely not gonna have to put a lot of heavy hitters onto SmackDown. But I think it's gonna be hard in general to kind of change that mindset, even though SmackDown is for the most part has been doing well or just putting on a better show than Raw. It's still the mindset of Raw is still the top show.
We shall see.
We shall see, which is funny. The last point in the Hot Topics, this past SmackDown episode saw its lowest viewers of this year with 2.135 million viewers this week.
Yeah.
What do you... no, it can't be. No, World Cup airs early, so...
Yeah, it's not the World Cup.
I wonder what do you think that could be?
I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know.
Because a lot of people been in favor of SmackDown, so to hear that it went down. You know what I think it is with SmackDown? I think people are so used to SmackDown not being
good.
Yeah, so that one or 2 weeks where it kind of fades, then people fall back again.
Yeah, it's gonna be back to the old way it used to be.
Exactly, and yeah. So I don't know if that's the situation, but we'll see if it picks up again. But that's our Hot Topics.
Yep. And
we have our debate. This is actually a viewer listener question. Yeah.
Remember, if you have any questions, just send it to our DMs at the Mixed Tag Show.
Yes.
Slide on in.
So this week's question is, apparently the WWE bought the trademark rights to NWO. So they own that.
Right.
Now, if you could remake the stable.
Right.
With the original member being a leader, obviously, and then who would they lead? What superstars would you have in this faction?
Shout out to Phil for the question, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So let us know who it is, and we'll shout you out. Shout out to Phil for the question.
Good looks, dog.
Do you want me to go first, or you would like to go first?
You can go first.
Of course, you'll put it on me.
Men first. No, that's not how it goes.
No, it's ladies first. There you go. So go ahead.
I already said it. Go ahead, buddy. After you.
Fine. My legend. Is the legend gonna be in the prime or just a manager role?
It can be in the prime.
In the prime?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It can be in his prime. He could be a manager role. It doesn't matter.
Do they have to be alive or?
It can. But remember, it has to be an original NWO participant.
So we're keeping it to the top 3. That's it.
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna go Macho Man Randy Savage. Madness. Yeah. I would have him. I would put Dolph Ziggler in there.
Mm-hmm.
I would put Samoa Joe in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I would put... the Usos.
Interesting. I'm surprised you didn't have AJ.
No, because my plan is to have AJ, Finn.
NWO versus Bullet Club.
There you go.
The battle,
Adam Cole over there.
The battle of the two sweets.
Yeah.
Okay. So, quickly, why did you pick those superstars?
Only because I feel like Dolph Ziggler would have the swag, kind of, to bring to the crew. Samoa Joe would bring the toughness, right? And then the Usos, because, again, their swag and their tag team abilities.
It's kind of like you always need a kind of like a tag team,
right?
faction.
To balance it out. And I picked Macho Man because Macho Man was, he's Macho Man.
He's Macho Man.
He can't.
So Macho Man would lead.
Would lead the faction.
Okay, I don't really see him leading a faction. And shout out to Macho Man. Obviously, rest in peace. But I don't really see him the type to lead.
There'll be chaos. I like chaos. If you haven't realized,
okay.
Joker is my favorite villain.
Yeah.
So I like chaos. So I feel like Macho Man.
Well, we all
chaos.
know you don't like organization.
No, I don't.
So clearly,
tranquilo.
Yeah. I find it interesting that you selected Dolph Ziggler.
Right? I just want something.
Especially when you kind of shading him early in the show.
I just want something different for him. Maybe if he's part of the NWO with Macho leading the way, he don't act like Shawn Michaels all the time.
But he would still be a heel, and he's a show-off, and he's still arrogant.
Yeah, but maybe he would not try to look like Shawn and do stuff that Shawn did like Macho would probably coach him and be like, no, do this differently. You don't need to do that from the past. You could do this on your own. Like,
Yeah, I don't really like your faction though.
that's your problem.
Man, it's not my problem. It's your problem. I just didn't really like
Who
it.
would you do?
So I would select as the one to lead the pack, Eric Bischoff. A lot of people may not know, but he at one point was a part of NWO.
He was the mastermind.
He was the mastermind. Eric Bischoff ran WCW, and obviously at one point it was better than Raw, or at least performed better than Raw.
Yeah.
In the WWF at the time. So I would select Eric Bischoff. I think he'd be a good mouthpiece and just be a very irritant type character.
Okay.
I would select a woman into NWO, Sasha Banks.
I would put her in mine as well.
I think Sasha just fits that faction,
Right.
arrogant, I'm the boss type thing. Kind of, the guys kind of just flock to her, and she somewhat, she's the boss. So she
Right.
has a bossy type character. I think that would be pretty badass. I would have Roman Reigns in it. I would have Roman Reigns because he is it would make him a heel. I didn't do any of that for you. I let you rock.
Okay, go ahead.
Even though I disliked it. I obviously my stable would beat yours, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
I would have Roman Reigns. You need a muscle. He played that enforcer and muscle role really well in the Shield. That's what helped him get over. So I think that would be a good spot for him to be in. I would select Finn Balor to be in NWO. Again, I think, someone who has ties with the whole Too Sweet thing. I think it's just he has that swag
Right.
of being in a stable and leading a stable, or at least a group. So I think that would fit him very well, especially with the whole black and white, gear and everything. And the last person I would select to be part of that stable would be Kevin Owens.
I could see Kevin there.
Why I select Kevin Owens? Again, he just plays that. He's a wild card in a sense. You just don't know if he's going to be down for you, and if he is down, he's going to do every type of thing to cheat,
right, and
help his team, or basically help himself. So it just gives you that wild card on what exactly he's going to do. So that would be my stable for NWO.
So let's pose a question to our listeners. Which NWO do you think would be best? That's simple.
That's simple. Obviously, mine would be the best. On that note, wait, another one.
No.
Okay. Anyway, on that note, that's the end of our show. Thank you for listening and watching.
Yep.
Again, this week's WWE shop sale is get your T-shirts as low as
$10.
And this week's shirt is Dolph Ziggler.
It's not
showing
off. Jinx.
Also, again, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers, so we're very close. We gained a few more this week, so
yes,
please,
we did.
If you like watching us, hit that subscribe button.
Yep.
Again, with the WWE shop, our link is provided in the description of YouTube and posted on Mondays and Wednesdays in our bios at the Mixed Tag Show, and
also when we're watching
at Blue Magic.
Oh, sorry.
Blue
At Blue
Magic
Magic Grind.
Man, I gave you the alley-oop, bruh.
I'm trying to set up something else for us.
Always messing up.
I was trying to set something else for us.
Go ahead.
Also, when you're watching Raw and SmackDown, join us on a live tweet as we retweet our listeners and current people at the Mixed Tag Show. And also follow us on our personals at
Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEE.
And at Blue Magic Grind, spelled how it sound. See, I'm trying to get them to engage with us during the shows. We do tweet during the shows.
We do?
So they probably don't know that. So I'm trying to give them the alley-oop.
Yeah, let's talk.
On that note.
Right? All right. Too Sweet Me.
No.
Oh, no. We would NWO, though, no?
There you go. The Too Sweet.
Okay, we got the Too Sweet.
All right.
All right.
It's the Mixed Tag Show.
Mixed Tag Show.
With Jenna and Blue.